Okay, would you say Super Bowl ads are overrated or underrated? How do you put it, Virginia? Which category?
I think they're rated just right. I think there's a lot of hype. I think people love them and get excited about them, and I am one of those people.
Okay, so you do not think that they are overrated?
No.
Okay.
I love them.
Okay, what about you, Bird?
Overrated.
I'm going to go with overrated as well. I think there are a few, but I think that the hype that we give it and the anticipation is too much. And every year I would say every year there's about 2 or 3. And as we just kind of went through some of the Super Bowl ads, I found there were 2 or 3. I'm like, that's pretty good and that's clever. I like that.
Call me weird, but I want my Super Bowl commercials who run the first time during the Super Bowl. These are Super Bowl commercials.
There's got to be a marketing strategy, and I'm sure somebody could explain why they do that. And maybe it's because they feel they put so much money into it that they're not getting their money's worth and they got to drop them ahead of time. Because, look, I mean, we're talking about it ahead of time, and maybe it's not enough. Because I remember when they first started doing this, and this was a thing. This was when I first started doing radio. They would premiere them in the Super Bowl, and then the next day we'd talk about them, but then you kind of forget about them. And then you'd still see them running.
There's definitely someone in advertising who's smarter than us that could explain why. We really don't want to hear it because it kind of sounds boring.
Yeah, I hear you. Rhonda's on here from Delray Beach. What are your thoughts on these Super Bowl ads, Rhonda?
I think they're totally overrated, just like Black Friday.
Yeah, that's actually a really great correlation. And you know what? And I think once upon a time, I think that they were very cool. But now I just think that there's so much hype around the Super Bowl ads. There's no way they can deliver with how much people talk about them.
I think I jive more with Cyber Monday now.
Yeah.
Because it's just a lot
Cyber
easier.
Monday is a lot easier than Black Friday.
Yeah, Rhonda's right. Yeah, Black Friday got way overrated in time. Okay, what about this? What do you think? Overrated or underrated? Expensive skincare products, Virginia? There is an ad. I don't even know what the product is for.
Tough.
And it shows these women that the youngest one's 50, one's 56, one's 67, and they look like they're 20. And it's some kind of rejuvenating skin product, and it would get me.
Yeah, because you know what? They're probably getting Botox, and then they're saying that the cream's doing it.
Yeah.
There are products out there on the market that have a temporary fix of wrinkles, and I think those are not overrated. Those are actually amazing, but it does wear off.
They do a Jedi parlor trick on you by using that one word, serum. Oh, they've got a serum in it. Oh, serum.
I think it's called Plexiderm. If you look it up, Plexiderm, it's a reduction serum that really, it's short-lived. It's got an expiration date. You put it on your face. It only lasts for a few hours. But it really does work in the short term.
Okay. So where do you put that? Overrated or underrated?
I think Plexiderm's underrated.
Okay. All right. Needs a little bit more shine on it.
But not all skincare is as awesome as that Plexiderm.
I got burned real bad by Cindy Crawford and her infomercial she would run at 2 a.m. with this some kind of Irish bean, some magic bean plucked from the earth, and it's going to make you look young and you'll never get wrinkles. I think I'm still on the list of getting it. It's just going to my old apartment. It took me forever to get off the buying list. Didn't work. Expensive.
Yeah.
Lies galore. Overrated.
I think certain skincare products are overrated. I think the concept of using a regular cream to look younger is underrated. I don't think enough people talk about it. And like I said, I use mine's just something I get at Walgreens or Publix, so it's nothing fancy. But there was a guy that one time I met, he was in his 50s, and I thought the dude was 30. And he said, yeah, just in my 20s, I started using daily face cream. Nothing fancy. And I was like, I'm going to do that.
My dad swears by this $1.99 suntan protection thing he gets at Walmart. Like, I don't know, Dad, $2?
A little cream with SPF in it is such a smart thing to do in your 20s.
Yeah.
And then you just do it every day. And you're right. You can literally look like you're in your 30s when you're in your 50s.
What about walking 10,000 steps a day? Is the concept overrated or underrated? So many people talk about and they're buying devices just to make sure they hit it.
When you have a broken hip, it's very overrated.
I bet, yeah. Not for you, yeah.
I think it's underrated. I love the idea of working in more walking, and those little monitoring systems, if they help you do it, that's good.
No,
Yeah.
walking is actually quite underrated. You
Yeah.
should be going out for walks, not only just to keep your heart rate up. I think it helps mentally with your mental health. Getting out in nature, moving,
Yeah.
kind of just getting off the hamster wheel a little bit.
Yeah, well, after I read that thing here on the show the other day about just even adding an extra 1,000 steps reduces your depression and uplifts your spirit. I was like, okay,
If you
it's
look-
got to be underrated.
If you look at a lot of the great philosophers and inventors of our time, they
Yeah.
all preached about going for walks.
Yeah.
They all love taking walks.
Increases your creativity by 60%. Go for it. It's underrated. Morning routines. This is a big buzzword that a lot of the people who think that they've, hacked their whole life, they do a morning routine where I get up and I journal and then I have this and then I hit the cold plunge and,
Oh, that sounds so peaceful.
all these, it really is. All these people who think they're better than you, and they're all successful and we've all got these hacks and we're going to be like whomever this guy is.
If you're journaling and cold plunging before I get to work, you are better than me.
Yeah.
Or you're either better than me or you are lying and you're waking up and you're crying. Not doing that. You're fake journaling and you're fake plunging.
Yeah.
Tears don't show up in the cold plunge.
I think having a routine in the morning, it's underrated and it's good. I think the hype that some of these people who think that they're better than you use and do for their morning routine is overrated. That's where I settle on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a routine, is healthy for you.
Right. I think you should, but I don't think that a cold plunge is all necessary.
If you're cold plunging, you do think you're better than everybody walking the earth.
You do.
It's a bit annoying.
A cold plunge is awesome.
Kevin's gonna get the longest email from some cold plunge douche. Oh, it's the best thing, bro. Jay Bird does not know. It'll fix his hip.
Yeah.
You'll get a long email.
I
It
was.
probably would fix your hip.
It probably will.
I only say this because there's a study that came out this week that said cold plunging may be way overrated.
Really?
Really?
Good, because it
And health
sounds
benefits.
stupid.
What about that cryo stuff? I tried that where they drop the temperature all around you to like so low.
Yeah, I don't know. They have all this stuff, and you notice whenever they have a wellness store that does it, it's so expensive to do, and there's not really any clinical studies to prove how valuable it is. I had somebody tell me this last week too. They're going in an infrared sauna. I'm like, what is this?
Yes, the red light.
What are we doing now?
The
There's-
red light supposedly inflammation decreases by like 30%.
Yeah, red
Kevin.
light's the new cold plunge.
NBI, not buying it. Not buying it. This all sounds like made up crap.
Well,
to me.
all these people. I was at a dinner thing, and everybody's like, "Yeah, I do the red light thing," and I look like, of course, the tool that doesn't know anything. I'm the Neanderthal that has no wherewithal.
I
Oh,
thought red light meant look stoplight.
Wait, hold on, Kev. You're not red lighting.
Yeah, I'm stuck at red lights before I go to work a lot.
That's the only red light I see. What about brunch? Overrated or underrated?
Underrated. I love brunch.
See, the only brunch I've really ever been to is when my family went to Shoney's or a Sizzler. I don't think I've ever gone to a brunch.
You may
I'm
not
going
have.
to brunch this Sunday. Bottomless mimosas is the way to go. You must be bottomless.
Because to me, on paper, it seems overrated, expensive,
Right.
annoying.
You could argue that.
Loud.
Yeah, and I've seen so many people barfing on Clematis at 2 p.m. on a Sunday, and you're like, hey,
Rookies.
they're going to dread tomorrow morning. Yeah. Avocado toast, overrated or underrated?
It's overrated.
Yeah, that goes with your brunch.
This is how we do. It's the KBJ Show.